He's gonna play a tune here to get us started, and I don't know what the fuck happened to my computer, but I'm gonna fucking go with the phone.
Right.
So,
I mean, yeah, why not?
how's the camera?
Couldn't be a more smooth way to start Patreon. I feel like the
landscape
people are
would be
getting their money's-
better. Landscape would be better than portrait.
I don't even know where the fuck it. God damn it!
Andy doesn't even know what that means, Shaylee.
Turn it 90 degrees. It'll do it for you. No, don't physically turn it.
Oh shit!
Sorry.
Leave it like that. Leave it like
Go
that.
back.
Oh,
Leave it
perfect.
like that. No,
Perfect, Andy.
Is that coming through?
Yeah.
Good.
Sorry.
All right. It's good to see you guys again. This is fucking hilarious already. Well, we've known each other for quite some time, and I truly consider you a friend of mine. But there's something I'd like to say before I forget. You see, I've been holding this for oh so long, so to let it out, I wrote this song. It's not perfect, but it's the best that I've done yet. You're full of shit, so much is coming out your ears when you cry. All that I see your brown tears when you wipe your eyes. You're gonna need two plies so that shit running down your face don't dry. It's time for you to throw in the towel, move on with life and stop moving bowels. It's time for you to quit. You're full of shit. Well, I hope this does not come off harsh. Remember the episode with Randy Marsh where he's obsessed with having the biggest turd? Well, that right there is a metaphor for all the things that you're good for. I don't take shit, that's why I'll never take your word. Cause you're full of shit, so much it's coming out your ears when you cry. All that I see your brown tears when you wipe your eyes. You're gonna need two plies so that shit running down your face don't dry. It's time for you to throw in the towel, move on with life and stop moving bowels. It's time for you to quit. You're full of shit. Well, I hope this is not the end. Sometimes it's hard to be a friend. Sometimes you gotta be an asshole too. But if this friendship does go south because you switched your asshole for a mouth, well, I think it's time for me to say adieu. That's French for go fuck yourself. Cause you're full of shit, so much is coming out your ears when you cry. All that I see your brown tears when you wipe your eyes. You're gonna need two plies so that shit running down your face don't dry. It's time for you to throw in the towel, move on with life and stop moving bowels. It's time for you to quit. You're full of shit. I said it's time for you to quit. You're full of shit. I said it's time for you to quit. You're full of shit.
Very good.
James Frost
Very
win,
good,
everybody.
Cheers, Jim.
If they ever do a dirty hee-haw tour, you'll be the first person they sign.
Well, we're back to the phone.
Oh, Andy, the computer failed so quickly.
And
It says this app can't open, and then neither of the windows I click on help. So, but it's
try rebooting it.
Oh
The
no!
phone's fine.
No, why would he want to reboot it?
Reboot.
That's.
I haven't even booted. Why would I reboot?
Yeah.
It's not like there was an entire South Park episode dedicated to starting and restarting something as a solution.
Yeah, you know how you go into like, well, I mean, like there was an exterminator who was spraying for spiders, and he gave me the whole rundown on shit, and I could kind of follow that, you know. But it's like,
on what? Wait, we gave you the rundown on what? Spiders or life?
What he was doing, you know.
It's the same thing, dude.
Yeah.
What kind of poison?
Spiders or life, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah. Guy's coming to kill spiders, then he tells you how he does it, you know, and then it's like, why don't I just get the shit and do it myself? This computer guy gave me a rundown on everything, like, you know, it's like a mechanic, gives you, well, I do this and this and this, and then you just smile and nod, and because I don't know what he fucking did, but he says it'll run better.
And he paid
so
him
far
how much?
it's working great.
170. It's 100. No,
you got off cheap.
Yeah.
I thought it was $300.
That was a quoted price, and then but
that was
they couldn't fix it, so it was only $150.
That was for a working finished product.
Yeah, it was finishing.
Oh, it's a
You get a discount if it's still a piece
Yeah.
of shit when I give it
Yeah.
back to you.
Good news.
Mr.
Good
Anderson.
news is better news.
Yeah,
Half off.
exactly what I was
Hey,
gonna
it's still
do.
broken. Half off. Here you go.
Yeah.
Your
The good
computer's
news is-
done, and it's
Half-
cheaper than I quoted.
It was because it I forget, but
Yeah,
anyway.
of course.
I-
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was cheaper. Oh, it was cheaper because he couldn't get anything off the hard drive. He goes, "Do you have anything good in the
Lost
hard
your
drive?" I go,
Hold on a second. He replaced your hard drive and got nothing off your old hard drive?
"Yeah, it's done." But he
You
said I
could
should.
find a junior high kid that would fucking do it for $50.
Yeah,
Oh,
but then I
He's,
talked to a kid,
he's
and then
selling parts of Andy's hard drive on eBay right now.
this is what happens when you fuck with somebody, Larry.
Yeah.
This is not the hard drive that we wanted, Larry. But I'm happy with it. It's just
Well, none of
You're
us
happy
are.
with it. It's
The
only
three of us aren't happy with it.
1 hour and it doesn't work anymore.
it's because I
Hey.
don't do stuff properly.
That's not why. It's not fixed, Andy.
Sit. I'll bet you can fix it here in a second. With yellow, I can add him.
Well, since your lesson only cost you $100 and some, I researched for $350. You could get an Asus laptop that's configured for Skype because the camera and the microphone are for video conferencing. $350, and that only has 4 gigs of RAM. So you would probably want to upgrade that to at least 8. And so we're probably under $400 right there,
Yeah.
or at $400, and we would
I got
at
a phone
least
call.
be.
I got a message this morning from John McClure, I think is his name. He and I've talked to him before, but he goes, he offered to send me a cheap computer, like he would purchase. And then I was sending a message saying, I don't think it'll be necessary. And you know how sometimes you're Facebook messaging and then you dial somebody up. So I'm standing naked in my backyard, watering shit. And I'm like, oh, shit, man.
You FaceTimed this motherfucker
I
on
have-
accident?
I have never accidentally fucking dialed somebody up one time.
I've
Not once.
never accidentally
I was
video
wondering
called
if
someone
either
while
of you
naked.
guys. Yeah,
I don't
I've
know
never heard of that.
But I sent the message, and then it was ringing, and then I go, oh shit, and then I talked to him, and then at the end of it, I was like, I wasn't sure if I was video conferencing. I was like, I got to get some clothes on. But he offered to send me a computer, and I appreciated it, and I sent him a message saying I appreciate it, and then I click a button, and then I'm sending him, I'm standing naked with my phone going.
Well, you got to pay for the computer. I mean, I think that's fair.
That's it. If
You
there's
get to
anybody
see
to
it.
send
Yeah.
some naked videos to, it's to
Yeah.
the guy who's willing to send
Yeah,
you a
he's gonna
computer.
send you the computer. You stand in
Yeah.
your yard watering the grass.
That's like
If
a
he got-
Patreon level that we don't even have.
Absolutely.
If he got the FaceTime, he might be sending you a pair of pants too.
I'm not a Muslim, but I
But
don't believe
Andy's right. There are a lot of people out there that are into computers that have like a spare computer that they would even, that would be perfect for
wipe
what
it,
Andy
send
does
it.
that they could hook him up with. So that
Oh,
would be fucking amazing,
It's just right now, it's a little. It's like we hung out and then she went somewhere and then got erased. Now, but I got her.
Working.
I think
bullshit, man. That's bullshit because honestly, I've taken hard drives that wouldn't even boot up.
Well,
There's third-party software that will mirror the drive onto a new drive because the mechanical failure doesn't move from the old drive to the new drive. He just fucking cheap way.
Shaylee, I'll do you one better. Anybody who takes in a laptop that is over 6 years old and says, I'll repair it up for you, is just a fucking scam artist.
Totally.
I mean,
they should have, if it's a reputable place, then they've got $300 computers on the wall and they go, well, honestly,
Yes, they'll upsell you before, but yeah.
Very much unrelated, but about 8 years ago, my daughter got her car totaled because she hit a fucking bunch of other, and her car was totaled. and I didn't want her. It was it was a shitty car her grandma gave her, like a Ford Taurus, and the thinking at the time was she should get a car about the same. And someone there was some brain disease going on, so I was making decisions, and I made it. All this old There was an old dude with the same car in the fucking paper, and I called this dude, and I had a good feel for him, and he's a fucking cunt. But my first tip off was he was running a business that repaired answering machines. About 6 years.
He's a tweaker. Your brother's fixing toasters, and this guy's
yes.
fixing answering machines.
Yes, that is it.
He's getting rid of this car or something. His wife was in
Oh my God.
Yeah, this isn't gonna work.
a car, and then he goes, oh, and I go, what's this? And he goes, oh, my wife put some stickers on there. Well, one of the stickers was covering an engine light. So fucking
Classic.
All right, dude.
And then my kid too. At the end of the sale, he hugged her, and I didn't like that at the time. And then he goes, and then the tires on there were fucking snow tires. He said, "Oh no, they're regular tires." No, they're not. They're snow tires, you dick. And then fucking transmission went out on it, and then he offered to pay for the tire.
This is
Somebody-
like when your uncle starts
Andy-
talking to you, and you just let go.
Andy's broadcasting from the bottom of the Marianas Trench.
I just realized that I keep leaning in closer and closer, like I'm gonna hear it better.
Oh, he's back. He's got the computer up.
He's
Boom.
got it in- he's
Yeah.
got
Yeah,
it in portrait
guess
mode.
what? Jim rebooted the computer, right?
He doesn't just do. He doesn't just.
I had to repair it.
Uh-oh.
Too. I had to. Yeah.
Give him
James doesn't
150
just
bucks.
provide songs that
You're-
are a reflection of today. He also can fix shit.
Yeah.
Like
Turn
that
your
guy.
radio down, sir. Turn your radio down if you want to call into
Long-time
the program.
caller, long-time listener. We were just doing the AM radio broadcast. That's a
Make it
throwback.
dittos. Long time, first time.
It's like we're under a bridge listening to AM radio, the worst
Yeah.
fucking signal. Andy, yeah, we were 2 seconds from pulling the plug on this.
Get him right.
So-
Oh yeah, that was a timely pull out.
There we go. Okay,
Yeah, look at
we're
that.
back. Hey, we're back to square one. Yosemite.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't watch a lot of
Nice
news
work.
because I've been remodeling stuff here at the house and up at the funhouse. And I see these things at night, like something will come on Twitter, and I hear you guys talk about it on the podcast. Like I just looked up the Jake Paul thing. Like I didn't know that was going
That just
on.
happened
Yeah.
today.
I don't
That just
know.
happened
That's what I mean.
a couple
I'm,
hours ago.
I'm busy doing other things, and the Yosemite thing.
Yosemite.
I thought that was like SNL skit or something.
Yeah.
Dude,
That's like how ridiculous it is. It's like I have to fight with myself on like, is this real or is it like you could tell back in the old presidents, you could tell when there was an SNL skit.
dude,
that-
it's so. Is
that-
that
like-
Alec Baldwin? Yeah.
It's like shit, make it get good on Alec Baldwin.
Shaylee, I have quit reading all news completely as well. And Jenny actually showed that to me. Her third language is English, and she was like, "It's Yosemite, right?" And I was like what? Like the park? And she was like, "Yeah." She's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah." She's like, and then
Or
she
like
just handed-
Sam.
And then she handed me her phone, and I was like, "Oh, fuck, are you shitting me?"
Somebody, I
Right.
retweeted it,
That's-
and somebody on Twitter, I should have looked at who it was because I laughed pretty hard. But their reply was, "Hey, he nailed Sequoia."
I saw that too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He did do the sequoias pretty. It's like
Like he practiced Sequoia so many times that he fucking blew Yosemite. Like,
Oh,
shit, you didn't study for the right part of the test, bro.
I had when I worked with Jamie Foxx one weekend in Boise, and I kept fucking up his intro. It was like, it's just easy shit, booty call or whatever. But when you're focused on thing, booty call, and then I'd space his name or whatever it was. But yeah, God damn, what a fucking moron. It's like he is the dumbest fucking guy in America.
Yeah, he tried it twice. He tried to say it the second time too, which made it even better. And then realized he didn't even have a second attempt that was different than the first attempt. So
which is hilarious till you go and you watch that Beirut video or videos from Beirut and see a fucking giant bomb going off and you go, oh, this guy's so stupid. What a dawdling idiot. Oh, wait, he could do that times 100,000.
He has a bigger butt.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just have to get past 2 or 3 guys and go, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do this. Oh, okay. You sum it up.
One of the saddest things about it is that he, oh, fuck, now I forgot what I was saying. Never mind.
Oh, man.
We're
drunk. I'm drunk.
One of the saddest things is that used to be before you would know, like when he goes off script, that's the worst part that he would possibly do. And then now when he's on script, it's just as bad. You're like, fuck, he can't even read words. God damn it.
Over 4 years, he's gotten worse at public speaking. Impossible.
I really do think that they probably went over it with him and told him how to pronounce Sequoia and just, missed the target word that they should have worked on him with. That
they over-focused on it, just the wrong word.
Oh, fuck, Yosemite. I should have realized. God damn it.
The thing that's great about it is he doesn't it's as though he doesn't know the word. Even after he fucking stumbled over it twice.
No, it was 3 times, dude. It was 3 times. That's what they call a sight word.
Yeah.
For like toddlers.
You know what happened was right before he went on, somewhat like one of the handlers or these guys that really put things in front of him was like so funny because like forever my niece thought it was pronounced Yosemite. And he went right out on stage and then said Yosemite, thinking idiot who just fucking parrots things he doesn't know.
Yeah.
I only said Yosemite. It was hyperbole.
Yeah.
It was hyperbole when I said Yosemite. You don't understand. You don't get it.
And that's where the super volcano that's going to destroy the earth is. So have some fucking respect, you fucking retard cunt. You orange fucking cunt. That's where the super volcano lives, dummy.
That's in Yellowstone.
Oh, sorry.
No, I thought it was in Hyperbole, Oregon.
Yeah, you're right.
It's in Hyperbole, Oregon. Greatest stand-up comedy special title is Brian Regan titled one of his specials, The Epitome of Hyperbole.
Yeah, he's performing at he's on the Helium Comedy Club in Portland next month.
He's the best.
Yeah,
I like him. He's very funny.
I think that his kind of comedy is more dangerous because it takes so many facial expressions. I think it might be dangerous to a crowd.
It's more work.
Yeah. He's got to probably have an 8 to 10 foot COVID range.
He's probably
got to stay even farther back with his.
What would destroy Brian Regan is if they made him wear a mask while performing. You could see how wacky his face was. You just go, I don't get it. No, you have to see. You have to see it.
Exactly. Yeah, I fucking love Brian Regan.
But I don't get anything. I met Brian Regan works with Kermit Apio a lot. Mm-hmm. And Kermit was here in town, and I got a picture with me and Brian Regan, which I consider us to be the 2 best clean comics working the circuit.
Yeah.
So it's like kind of a special picture to go, like, there's me and Brian Regan.
Yeah.
Like people could go, that's how one book ends, and the other book.
Imagine if you'd have started opening for Brian Regan instead of Doug Stanhope. What podcast would you be on right now?
Well, my face would be a lot sore from overacting these.
You'd have laugh lines.
Yeah, that's one thing I won't die with is laugh lines on my face.
You definitely have to clean up a lot of the molestation stories.
When I die, I'll have a lot of deep ingrained lines I'll call I don't get it.
He's got confused lines.
Yeah.
Well, like Brownie, not necessarily.
Just, bullshit.
What?
I got a resting. I don't know what you're fucking talking about, face.
I'm glad you got your laptop working again, brother.
Andy, can you take blur off, because your background is so awesome?
Blur.
Got the...
I don't know how I do that.
Sorry, I don't want. Yeah.
Yeah, no, let's do it. I think we should do it. I'm excited about this.
I
so
thought it was,
on your screen,
I actually thought it was
be,
my connection, Shaylee.
Yeah.
Wait, browse the web, view documents.
Some over the windows, because I got a Mac.
I've got a
there
Mac
should be
too.
3
Mac
dots
is
somewhere.
Too easy.
There
we
should
turn
be
blur off of this.
There should
Nice
be
one,
3
Jack.
dots.
Skype, click audio, video, done.
Wait, there's a camera button.
No, not that
About
one.
to lose Andy.
There should be.
Shaylee, I'm so sold on Mac. It's so great.
Yeah.
3 dots. Click on it. More options. Maybe something like that.
Yeah.
It'll
No,
say
no, it's
blur,
up in the-
blur my
Should be
background.
oh, wait, forget it.
3
Sorry.
dots. Yeah, I see 3 dots.
Click on
Boom.
that.
Okay. It says subtitles.
Blur.
Unblur my background.
Do it. Click it.
Yeah.
There it is.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I knew we could do it. You guys had no.
Oh shit, he blurred mine. Andy, unblur my background.
What?
When you did that, you blurred mine. Man, what the fuck?
All right.
I
Walk
did.
you
I
through
did.
this, Andy, but it's gonna be more complicated. Hold on.
Holy shit. That's fucked up, man. I do see that it blurred my background. No, it doesn't say anything about Shaylee's background.
Yeah. I got it.
You just pulled a
But
quarter
I'll
out.
tell you
Just pulled a
what.
quarter out of Andy's ear.
I'll tell you what. Charlie Manson,
Hey,
his
Andy,
background is rough. I thought
Witchcraft.
I thought I had a rough background. Charlie had it a little tougher.
Charlie Manson.
Chuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Charlie.
Charles.
Yeah. He was a cut up in school. Yeah.
So he
no,
was voted like class clown. Like no school yearbook staff ever got it more wrong than
He was voted
Manson's class.
He was voted most
class
likely to be
clown.
disrespected by Stan Love, or was it Mike Love? I don't know. One of them played
Mike
ball,
Love's
the
a
other one
sick-
didn't.
I feel like we've all got mitigating circumstances, but that doesn't lessen what piece of shit we are. You know. That's,
No, it's just backpedaling. You know, like they can easily like my backstory. You know, puts me at the scene of a lot of grisly crimes, but I haven't been there as far as I can tell.
definitely. Well,
But I never had the chance to have a hit with the Beach Boys, so I can't say that if
Well,
like
B side, Andy.
did-
To be fair, B side.
You didn't write Kokomo?
yeah, I wrote that Christmas one. You know, I met one of the openers for Beach Boys. Me and Doug Stanhope in Chicago.
Jan
Went to
or
a-
Dean?
No, John Fox. John Fox was like a.
You
was at a-
introduced John Fox onto this show as
We
one
were-
of the openers
Huh?
of
It was a,
Boys.
it was a scam. No, John Fox was running. He was running some sort of scam. He had $100 bill, no change, and he had to go open for the Beach Boys. Whatever. Me and Doug didn't give a shit. One, he had some big presentation. He was trying to scam us of some kind, and then he goes, I'm opening for the Beach Boys." And like he had to get in a cab,
Yeah.
and the Beach
Yeah,
Boys
needed
were sent.
$100.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the guy that hits you up at the gas station that just needs $10 gas to get back to, you know, he's got
Yeah.
his job and he ran out of gas on the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, and it's John Fox, the guy who put his dick in every
Hey,
mayonnaise
is this
jar.
John Fox?
Yep.
Yeah.
And,
I never met him, but I've heard about a lot
He
about him.
sure is. He's a fucking
when-
legend.
When he poked his head in the room and Doug was on stage and he goes, "Hey, everybody, the George Belanda of drinking is here." Just which is great. But so he was trying to run the scam, and the bartender goes, "I thought you said you was opening for the Beach Boys in January." So he's like, and then we Googled, and he's like, you know, the Beach Boys ain't even on tour, nor would they have John Fox opening, but somehow that was a scam.
That would be the
Or-
worst combination.
Yeah, and I think it was a scam so that he could get free drink. That was
Uh-huh.
all it was.
I-
a drink
I'm
scam.
starting to think this wasn't even John Fox at this point. This was just a guy
3 firemen were butt fucking in a smoke-filled room.
Some scams have a lot of layers.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you know, when we were searching for a bass player for a while in my band, a cover band, we would run into these guys, and the guy would come in, your band would be there, and you guys would have a couple of songs the guy would know in advance. He'd set up, and there'd be a little chit chat before he got going, right? And there was always this like someone would come in with the bravado of like, well, yeah, he did session work on like one of the 1980s Kiss albums, and you'd be like, oh, okay, all right, but like, you can't substantiate that.
Right.
You have to go with it. And like the Beach Boys thing is perfect because you're at a bar and this guy said you just have to extend that credit until you can get on Google later and go, that guy's a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
He's a fucking liar. But until then, he's picked something. It's not like he said like, yeah, me and Trent Reznor, we wrote fucking Pretty Hate Machine, basically, me and him. I mean, it's not this big huge thing that like it'd be like crazy, like you would be on the credits. It's like, yeah, I opened for the Beach Boys when I have time. Because no one's going to fucking call you up and like, oh, really? Yeah, send him a daiquiri.
Yeah. I saw the Beach Boys last week, and it was Jeff Dunham and his puppets.
Yeah.
When I see that John Fox guy, and granted we're all if we're nobody's giving us drinks and we don't have money for drinks, we got to do some sort of a shine and dance or whatever. But John Fox his whole legacy in comedy was he was a hack, and he put his dick in a lot of condiments in condos. It's like that's it. I don't, it's like, no, you can't go, wait, no, listen to his comedy. Well, his comedy sucked, and he was just known for being the one really fucking pig act that they would hire. And Stanhope was in that, like at Harvey's Comedy Club. Barry would say, oh, we only have John Fox. And like Doug Stanhope could have been followed in the heels of a John Fox. Like that's how Barry in Portland saw Doug Stanhope he's an R-rated act like John Fox. Well, Doug closed his act with pouring a beer on his face like it was a dick coming, but that was where you end the comparisons. John Fox was just like he was a street joke with bad etiquette, and that was it. But
he was a guy that existed because the '80s comedy was a boom, and there were not enough comedians to fill the spots that they needed all over the country. So guys like John Fox, who were just maniacs, could find work.
And he was the type of guy who
street jokes.
You've heard like, oh, do you guys want me clean or do you want dirty? And then people go dirty, and then he provided the dirty that people wanted. Stanhope provided the dirty they didn't know existed,
I don't think
and it disturbed him. But he just would do like fucking jokes, and like fucking just butt fucking jokes, and the most fucking easy fucking jokes you could do for the dumbest people that you could deliver them to, and it worked. It was
if
magic.
John Fox were still around today, he would be reposting memes.
That's what his Beach Boy fucking scam was. It was a meme. It was a John Fox meme.
Yeah.
Doug has a thing on his website. It's called The Ghost of Christmas Future, and it's basically everything you're saying, Andy. It's basically his thing where he goes, they got me doing this gig opening for the Beach Boys on New Year's, and the bartender, who was obviously grown tired of hearing it, says, "You told me it was Christmas." Yeah, well, it's Christmas through New Year's.
Anyway, where's that cab at? Is it Buster Poindexter? Because I don't think that.
Wow, deep cut right there. Nice.
Yeah. Little Bill Murray's greatest
Scrooged.
And I worked with Loudermilk. Worked with Bobcat Goldthwait one time, and on New Year's. Yeah, I did a New Year's gig with Bobcat when he was with that. He was married to that lady who did the Vegas show. I shouldn't even tell this. This is a bad situation, but
wait, hold on a second, Andy. Back up a second. What's Loudermilk?
Loudermilk was the character on Scrooged That
Bobcat
Bobcat Goldthwait page.
That was a
Okay.
character's name.
Shotgun.
Jeez, that is a deep
Yeah,
cut.
that
Right
is a deep cut. But
So he
Scrooge
was
is one of my
married.
favorites.
He was
So I was
married to
right on
some.
target.
Yeah, he was married to some. Bobcat was sober. We did a New Year's gig. I wasn't. And he told his lady he was married to, and she was on this show. Anyway, she wasn't sober either. And I was in the back, and at New Year's she wanted a kiss, and Bobcat was up on stage, and so I kissed her on New Year's, and then Lisa Young comes back there. I don't know if she caught that, what was going on there. It wasn't like
Lisa
making
Young
out.
from Boise.
Yeah, and she goes, "You guys gotta go do the countdown, and it's like 5 minutes after midnight." And it's like I couldn't give a fuck. I was just making out with
Perfect.
a fucking chick from
Perfect.
the show, and her husband's on stage, and he's just like powder milk. I don't
I'm
know.
not gonna get caught.
Made out, we just kissed or whatever. You know, she's the one who jammed the tongue, and it was like, and then she I forget who she married after that, but she and it didn't work out
Jay
with
Moore.
Jay Moore, yeah.
Oh my God.
So, but she
Wow.
she said that Bobcat told her to come out and watch me because I reminded him of Norm Macdonald. So when she had her tongue in my mouth, I was just thinking how flattered I was when he said, and you know,
that
and
is
then-
pretty good.
Thanks for the compliment, lady.
yeah, and then I was like,
yeah.
that was
And I
fucking
can
weird.
see that actually.
And then I walked up on stage with Bobcat, and it was 5 minutes after New Year's, and everybody was kind of bummed because he
he
know.
missed it.
Yeah, they missed it. He kept doing his act, and then I went up, and then we did the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's 12:05.
That's funny.
Yeah, people were like clacker and shit, but we, you know, and then yeah. And then I ran into him years later, and he was making the movie I thought I was making.
Yeah,
Good guy. Fucking
he is a great guy. He is
Yeah.
a really super nice guy. I know him a little bit, and he's always been kind and generous to me, and he's been kind and generous to everybody else that I know that he knows. Like that's a real thing about him. You know, he's a good dude. So I have
can
nothing
see
but
that.
love for Bobcat.
I'm glad he isn't with that woman.
Well, when he played Peoria a bunch of
He's
times.
glad you're
Here's
not
how-
with her too.
Here's how you know the story because, or you know this story is true. He played the Jukebox Comedy Club in Peoria for Dan Conlon a number of times. And the only reason and the only way you would put yourself through such a thing is if you needed to. And he was getting taken to the bank so hard by his ex-wife, who was now married to Jay Moore, that he was forced to tour. And, you know, he had to take that 10 grand for the weekend. I mean, that's a lot of money, so I wouldn't complain about it. But, you know, like he was doing road gigs. You don't come to the fucking
After doing nothing.
jukebox in Peoria across the street from a stock car track next to a strip club on the outskirts of town for a fucking Thursday, Friday, Saturday, unless you're doing it for the money, you know? And he was there a bunch of times, and he was always really sweet to everybody and really kind.
Yeah, that makes all
and also
sense,
very
man.
upfront about why he was there and where the money was going when he got done. Same thing.
Yeah, she was.
Same thing happened to Dave Foley. Remember Dave Foley?
Yes, from the news radio. I was going to
got
bring that up.
fucking hammered hard.
Yeah.
Same
Oh,
chick or a different one?
They're all the same chick, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was something. I mean, you know, it's like, oh, well, Bob's up on stage. I need a New Year's kiss. And then it was just like, and then she just like fucking, you know, I was like, whoa, okay. I was like, wow, man, maybe maybe I am going to be successful.
So many times you've had that fleeting glimpse of fame. Last week you smoked crack accidentally and crushed for 3 Chris Rock-like shows on stage at Harvey's. Now you're making out with Bobcat's stripper wife and feeling like, maybe I'm next in line. Maybe
Well,
I'm the golden god.
I wouldn't say making out, but we kissed, and then she jammed her tongue in my mouth, and I thought that was weird because Bobcat was a celebrity.
I would
you
say,
couldn't
to be
cheat on a
fair,
celebrity.
she saw something in Andy.
Yeah.
You know, there was.
Well, he was talking to
and
you.
Andy saw something in her.
Yeah, his tongue.
I did. Yeah. Hey, I'm never gonna turn down advances in a in a green room by somebody.
Yes. The
Well, I
green
did
room.
one time.
Oh
Uh,
well, you don't have
uh,
to. You don't have to.
it was a Portland dude. I forget his name, but he was like, "Hey, why don't you take your shirt off for $75?" And then I was like, and then I didn't, and then I could like that's one of my regrets. It's like, what the fuck? He said, "Shirt, take my shirt off for $75? Of course I will. I'll jack off for 100." Or, you throw in, you, you put 150 on there, and well, I'll do whatever, man. I'll fucking spin on a
All of the things you've been put through from your childhood by all of these horrible people, and then one guy offers you $75 just to take off your shirt.
He
Just
says no.
finally draw
Yeah.
the line.
Carl Wolfson. He had a story about Louis Anderson, and then he told me the Louis Anderson story, and then he was kind of doing the Louis Anderson energy. Like, really?
Yeah.
$75 just to take my shirt off?
I got the Louis Anderson story too.
Did you?
I opened for Louis Anderson in either Austin or San Antonio at was it a Funny Bone that Rich Miller booked there? I think it was. But anyway, I didn't know the whole story with Louis. And yeah, after the first night, he fucking talked me up after the show about how I should come to Los Angeles and I was going to make it big and I was going to be like it felt great for a while, but then he went way too far right out of the box and I was like, well, there's something's going on here. And then I can't remember who I called. I
That
think
69
Brett
joke
Allen.
you got is crushing.
Yeah, yeah. And then
I
I
love
got,
it.
oh man, you're not special at all. You're just the fucking flavor of the week. He wanted me to live with him. He wanted me to come move in at his house and
Oh, I bet.
You're
Your
just a
comedy
cutie
is
pie.
handsome. Your comedy's so handsome.
yeah,
Come over here.
God.
You're doing things right.
Like
You're
it.
doing it
You're
right
a-
here in
you're a-
Peoria.
You're a triple threat.
You know what? You know what's good about that though is
You're a
like
good man.
one guy sort
He
of
was a nice
sexually
guy.
harassed me. You worked with Louis Anderson, who would sexually harass any guy who thought he would put a thumb in or whatever. But that's like every week for an even ugly chick open
I
mic.
know it.
It's
I
like
know it.
every dude is like help her. Every dude can exploit her and give her some advice, and every dude's got bad teeth.
Yep.
Yeah.
Completely
Those are
correct.
that I mistake that. Bad teeth are rotted teeth. Gap
Yeah.
teeth are be healthy. They just really spaced out.
Yeah.
And fucking I love Mrs. Baskets. I wouldn't want to work with Mrs. Baskets.
Yeah, you would. Come on.
That she would.
They called you to be on that show as a character actor.
one
You wouldn't
time-
take it?
One time I was on hallucinogenics at the Comedy Store back in a long time ago, back before Erickson back, and I'd worked with Frank Caliendo in Houston, Texas, and I forget there's some weird shit. I had some weird energy that week and had some 9/11. I don't know. There was a situation, but it didn't really blow up. But I worked with Frank Caliendo, and if you know Frank Caliendo's act or whatever. And anyway, we went through the week and it was fine. And then Doug gave me hallucinogenics. I'm at the Comedy Store and he wants to show me the back. I still don't know where it must have been the back of the main room backstage. I go back there and there's Frank Caliendo and he's sitting there and I'm tripping hard. And Frank Caliendo's going, oh, and he's doing a couple of voices and he goes, oh, I don't want to follow that guy. Or, he's talking about how hard it was to follow me in Houston. He said something specifically about following me in Houston. And then I see Louis Anderson sitting there, but only half of the light is on his face. So I just see the half a light on
half Louis.
Half a Louis, and he's like, and I was like, I don't know what was the hallucinogenics or whatever, but it freaked me the fuck out. Half Louis' face, and then have Frank Caliendo doing like, oh, this guy, he is a tough guy to follow. I think John Madden didn't like working with me.
Yeah.
I never had heard though, of course, of I'm not in your guys' fucking world, but I'd never heard those things about Louis Anderson until Andy was riding his fucking scooter all over the
Oh
backstage of the
God, yeah.
plaza. That was the first time I had heard, and then people
Jesus
Oh my
Christ.
God.
all around
That's
me were
that's
talking
still a
about.
that's still a sore
You
subject.
need to
I
get
know.
the
I know
Hennigan
it.
puppet out for
Yeah.
this story.
Oh, hold on.
Hang on, I gotta
Really?
go pee.
So, oh, really? He's got. Yeah, I guess he would have the
Oh,
Hennigan puppet. Why do I think it lives in
oh,
Vegas?
yeah.
he, yeah, he threatened to murder me. That fucking dirty.
Oh, I saw it.
Yeah,
I watched the whole
yeah.
thing.
And when so you posted that thing about Kreischer, and I said
Yeah.
being
Being
ghosted by
ghosted.
Kreischer is a badge of honor, and it got a
Yeah,
lot more. Like sometimes you just throw something out, and then it's like a
yeah.
lot of people responded to that. It's like,
No, that
how
was
many people
funny.
has he ghosted?
Yeah, that was funny. Well, people know that that whole backstory.
Now that
I
I'm mid-level, I can take shots at people.
I I did think it was funny that a tweet that had 100 and fucking 80 something notifications never hit his radar.
Yeah, yeah, that's how it goes, man.
Wow, can you imagine Bert Kreischer's notifications? Also, he has said publicly before he has like an app that filters out, so he only sees verified notifications. So
Uh-huh.
if you're
About to get
nobody,
deep.
you
We're
know,
about to
so.
get deep. It's about to get troublesome. I don't know if this was something that I brought because, like, I don't know why Hennigan doesn't.
Wait!
Oh no! Oh
That fucking Andy Andrus coming into the backstage. The wonderful Louis Anderson giving us the wonderful stage at the plaza. And
Yeah.
that fucking overweight Badger Andrus riding the
Oh, my
scooter
God.
all over the backstage. Are you fucking kidding me?
no!
It's like if you go to a marina and there's a jet ski
Are
and
you
it's got the
still
key in
allowing
it.
this Badger to talk on the air? Someone shut him up
You
already.
sound a little bit like Brian Hennigan and a little bit like a Monty Python woman.
Yes, that's beautiful. Which kind of both sound the
I
same,
didn't realize the
actually.
lips on
right
that
there.
thing.
Hennigan
The
just
lips on
sounds like a
Hennigan.
Monty Python woman.
He does.
A compliment, Shaylee. See, I'm blocking my mouth.
Yeah.
Hennigan, did you remember Andrus at his world famous performance at the plaza? Ooh, are we calling it a performance now?
Right.
Hey,
Well,
The Monty Python.
I was
That was
there as a
violent.
character. I was a character actor. So, and I did a character, and I didn't do that great as far as the skit went. But as far as the overall thing, it was better.
Listen,
And
You're calling it a skit? That would imply some forethought into something that you were going to perform on stage.
why is it is so dead on what Hennigan would say too?
it's
It might be
he's
coming
pretty
across as
easy to
Monty
read.
Python. I'm
We,
getting kind of
Yeah.
pissed.
also, we all heard it too.
Ew, God damn it.
I'm waiting for the time whenever the voice changes to the point. I will motherfucking kill you, Andy Andrus. Like where the
Yeah,
whole
that's what he said.
everything fucking
Like the first
went
time I
away.
rode the motor scooter, and like there's it's like 75 feet the backstage area.
Wait. For people that don't know about what the fuck we're talking about, we're backstage at the plaza while Stanhope is on stage doing his show, and Andy gets into Louis Anderson's.
Because it's Louis Anderson's.
Was the
Doug-
rascal,
Anderson's
the little,
stage.
the little,
Louis Anderson.
which Stanhope referred to as a scoundrel, and I will
Yeah.
always just call those fucking little scooters a scoundrel from now on. So, but Andy decided that it would be a good idea to race Louis Anderson's scoundrel up and down the back of fucking the behind the curtain while Stanhope was on
Ever
stage.
been a little bit
and
buzzed and got on a jet
Hennigan-
ski?
Hennigan lost his shit.
Not during a performance of one of my great.
I know.
Oh no, I've never driven a jet ski through the fucking through the lobby of the plaza.
Right. Like
I'm
Doug's
with
doing
Andy.
some important shit, like like fucking Richard Pryor had his shows, but there's some fun shit going on backstage during those too, right?
Staley,
Jay Walker and Slim Whitman hanging out.
Look, you don't think it would have been badass if Richard Pryor would have been on stage on the live at the Sunset Strip, and then Gene Wilder comes scooting out from behind the curtains on a fucking little rascal scooter
How do we know
out of his mind?
How do we know Gene Wilder wasn't? Maybe that's what got Richard Pryor back to do his because he didn't have a good first show.
Is Andy G. Wilder or fuck, I forgot the other one. Richard Pryor. Which one are you, Andy?
Yosemite, you motherfucking puppet.
I have to say that I was basically the one-man audience of this show, and I was fucking laughing hysterically the whole time. I thought it was hilarious that Andy was riding the scoundrel up and down, almost spilling onto the stage. Or stand.
What Hennigan doesn't realize, Hennigan's a reactionary. He sees the thing.
You're going to claim you were blacked out drunk, but you had high-centered it.
I wouldn't have been driving if I was impaired.
You had high-centered it and had to get help pulling it out and reverse. You would have been riding behind the stage. I think that's what you were fucking aiming for.
Yeah. No, Sheely, he did. He went right on the curtain behind Stanhope was billowing because
because of the speed.
Speed back and forth on the stage. And that's whenever I thought it was hilarious because I'm with Erickson like that. To me, I thought that if he crashed on the stage, Stanhope
I don't like to do that sort of thing.
This is not what we expect at a Stanhope show backstage. So from now on, all of the VIP credentials are absolutely revoked.
I burn you, puppet.
I believe that all animals should be left to be in the wild in their natural state. And Hennigan's natural state is to try to stop Andy from driving a little rascal scooter out onto the stage. But Andy's natural state is to do that anyway. So as they both exist, then they just have to.
And then what is like? Okay, then Doug does a podcast the next day. Oh, let's just talk. How did the show go? Let's talk about the show. Nobody wants to talk about that. They want to talk about the shenanigans. No, we need each other, you fucking dick.
Is that what you have here? Andy's the heckler from backstage with a laminate? Oh, he's helping.
He's
helping. You can't control who laminates, bitch. My therapy has gotten so much, I've gotten so healthy. Well, I know that this probably bothered Hennigan when I got to Death Valley. The first time I think I really got to know Hennigan is I had a book on tape that was Scottish, and I got there and I was like, "Do you want this?" Because to me, I can't listen to this shit. It doesn't make me, I didn't mean it. It's like, God damn it,
Just insulted his entire culture, but you didn't mean anything by it.
Yeah. No, I mean, line dancing
it's fine. Not shit, it's shite.
Yeah. Yeah. Square dancing, quite honestly, was ruined by the Scottish. They took it a little too dominant, and they like,
I think you're thinking of the Irish and line.
I don't know, man.
Nothing would anger Hennigan more than being compared to an Irishman. So were he here, his head would have just exploded.
I stopped listening to Andy years ago.
Yeah. I know you have, sir. I wish you nothing but happiness. No, you know what I like about Hennigan is the nicer you are to him, the more uncomfortable he is. That's what I used to like, fuck that guy, man. And then I realized that's playing into his hand. But then I was like, I love you, dude. And that fucking rocked him and bothered him. I love you, Mr. Hennigan. You're so beautiful.
I'm no longer here on the neighbor's porch, Andy.
Now you sound kind of like an old witch, which is also what Hennigan also always sounds like. So it's like it kind of doesn't matter how it sort of veers off the rails. It still sounds
I
exactly
don't know about
like
you guys,
one
but I feel like a
aspect of
piece of
Hennigan.
gingerbread.
Yeah.
Oh, if I could only get Andy to put his head in the oven once. That's all I need.
I love you, Mr. Hennigan.
Okay, I'm gonna go now. Continuing, not booking other comics. Bye-bye.
Oh, wait, no, I want to hear how you did in the Seattle comedy competition. You were in a different week than me, and you didn't make it to the semis. I was curious. Last place every week. How did you do? That was the amazing thing. And Ron Reed, you know Ron Reed, and he came.
Yeah, Ron Reed was the manager of the Seattle Underground.
Ran the Seattle Underground and then the comedy competition for years. And he uncovered a lot of pictures. Those are a lot of me and Mitch hanging out after we were both in the sweet spot of in an easy week, so we could get drunk and just advance or whatever. But those pictures and shit from the comedy competition are kind of gold. But I would love, and he said he got rid of a lot of the video. But man, I would love some footage of Hennigan because he got last place every week in his preliminary, and here's the fucking bitch of it, is it was the Seattle International Comedy Competition, and it really wasn't. It was a regional competition.
Yeah, at best.
A few throw-ins,
yeah.
And Hennigan in his week made it international. But
he was the token international, so they can have it in the title.
They would be like Scottish Lives Matter or whatever. But he got last place every night in it, and I would love to see some footage of that because I'd like to think it was like some sort of fuck you, that's my show, but I don't think it was. I can't imagine it was like bravado or too edgy. And probably part of it was people couldn't understand him, but it is. And I've thought about this a lot. It is impossible to score any position on a regular in that competition. The judges are so off but for a group of judges every night to agree that he was indeed the most lackluster performance of the show, with him being the only international item in an international competition. Impossible. I think it's impossible. I would like a recount of some sort.
I love you, Brian Hennigan.
Wait, are we saying goodbye? Are we cheersing Brian Hennigan?
No, I'm just cheersing Brian Hennigan.
I
do you love Brian Hennigan? He can't help us anymore. It's over. It's over.
I've seen Hennigan on stage a couple of times. And he was very funny. Too. And although I do have to say that he was very funny while just punching down.
Yeah,
he's a very funny puncher downer.
What I like about him is he's more uncomfortable on stage than me. And the only reason I'm up there is because I'm funny, but I'm not comfortable with it. I don't like the whole process. I don't really enjoy it, and I don't get a charge out of seeing people's faces light up and smile. There's nothing for me. It's a bummer.
I don't believe that.
I know. I love it. I love it. Just that, if I can make somebody happy like that, tweaker at Walmart who's working 5 hours, you go, yeah, let's walk over and look for them fucking things over here or whatever. That's entertainment.
Pan scrapers, Andy?
Pan scrapers.
Pan scraper.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, you guys.
I can imagine, me and her cooking some meth in a cast iron pan and it burning a little and going, don't worry, Amanda, I got this. I got a pan scraper, Fred Myers. Girl.
I got this handled. Oh, you're going to put the fire out? No. When the fire eventually goes out, I'll scrape the pan. I have a pan scraper for you to scrape the pan clean.
Yeah, no, she seemed like the type you. Yeah, I wouldn't be scraping no pans if a
No,
man.
I know. That's why.
Meth in a skillet is some fucking southern shit. I've never had any bacon flavored meth in all the meth I ever did when I was young.
Yeah. Meth
It's
and
a real
biscuits.
art to make meth on a skillet.
God,
Meth-
talk
meth-
about making
Yeah,
it more
yeah.
addictive.
Pyrex pan, I've seen it, not
Yeah.
a skillet.
Yeah, if you could put meth on biscuits and gravy. Woo! West Texas, chiming.
Listen,
Let's
you can
vote
put
now.
meth on anything if we're being honest.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a very versatile drug.
Well, you put meth on biscuits and gravy, you don't have to eat the rest of the day. So it is a time saver.
That is
Wow, that's pre-COVID days, huh? I hope.
That picture?
Taken in Doug.
Well, they're on a plane, so yeah.
You know what's starting to look really, I know they're probably not making bukkake films now, but boy, when you look back at those and you go, boy, is this girl, what is she thinking?
Wait till you tell you.
Face. None of these guys have masks. Some of them are anti-fucking government, Just a mess,
That's it, dude. You just made me realize too. That's the next porn star. The guy who can jizz more than 6 feet. He can social distance and still deliver a money shot.
Compliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that guy's out there right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, webbing is going to be the new romance. Yeah, I came in her face, but she was 16 feet away from me. I flung it.
Threw my arm out, but we're dating now.
Yeah. Chicks dig that, if you can, hit a girl in the face from a balcony.
Hold on a second. You kind of steamrolled that.
That might be based on anecdotal evidence, I
Yeah.
think. That might not be
No, chicks dig that, man.
No, man, I live in a fantasy world. There ain't no anecdotes. I like to think I'm that guy in fucking Fury Road letting the water out, but it's my dick, and I'm just spraying some cum down, and it's all the peasants are down there going, their rotted teeth gulping down my cum. But that's probably just my fantasy world. I don't even own any water rights.
Well, yeah. The first thing you got to do is put it on your vision board. You got to see it before you can make it a reality.
Man.
So
yeah, there was a guy out here who's trying to buy part of the Mackenzie River, so maybe I'll do that.
Mm-hmm. There you
and
go.
Put cum in it.
Well,
I already did that.
I think that once you've told the story of coming all over everybody in the audience, then I think that seems like a good place to wrap it up.
I think
feels like a conclusion to Act 3 to me.
I've had fun.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
Well, I have a story about a news article I read that I can save until next time.
And
show prep.
We can close with some music, unless we want to have a big in-depth meeting, talk about our fucking CEOs and our stock rising and shit.
Oh, we have to do a commercial.
Oh, we do? Underpants?
We'll do that after.
Hey, use underpants. They don't hurt. Send them out.
So yeah, we're now we don't have any sponsors, but we are doing ads on other programs. So I think that's pretty cool.
I'm considering a sponsor. This guy's, he's been in the program for a while, and
whoa, hold on, what?
Shit. All right, thank you, Patreon subscribers. We love you. We're glad you're out there. We'll see you again in a couple days. Cheers.
Well, I'm going to play some music on the way out. Maybe not me.
Play us out, Jim.
Here we go. Issues with Andrew, blah, blah, blah. The Yosemite.
All right, that's good.
Well,
thanks a lot, everybody.
Gotta take it up the inverted smile. I'm said, up the poop shoot, yeah. Life gives it to you. Up the poop shoot, yeah. When you don't expect it up, yeah. That's when you fucking get it. Up the poop shoot, yeah.
Gotta type.
Because even like that too, take it up the ass once or twice. Woo! And Mary's only a virgin if you don't count anal, but I do. Oh, don't tense up, no, because it makes it so much harder to go. Woo, deep inside your mind. So let's just take things nice and slow. Oh, up the poop chute, yeah. You won't win up the poop chute, yeah. So just sit and spin up the poop chute, yeah. You can't fight it up the poop chute, yeah. You might as well ride it up the poop chute, yeah. Republicans up the poop chute, yeah. And Christians up the poop chute, yeah. And Democrats up the poop chute, yeah. And bureaucrats up the poop chute, yeah. Aristocrats up the poop chute, yeah. The fucking aristocrats up the poop chute, yeah. Donald Trump up the poop chute, yeah. That's right, I fucking said it, up the poop chute, yeah. So come and get it up the poop chute, yeah. Because even Jesus Christ had to take it up the ass once or twice. Ooh, and Mary's only a virgin if you don't count anal. But I do, whoa, don't tense up, no, because it makes it so much harder to go. Ooh, deep inside your mind, so let's just take things nice and slow. Oh, up the poop chute, yeah. Up the poop chute, oh yeah. Up the poop chute, yeah. Up the poop chute, oh yes. Up the poop chute, yeah. Up the poop chute, oh yes. Up the poop chute, yeah. Because up the poop chute, that's right. I said it might have opened the door. It might have opened the door. It might have opened the door. It might have opened the door to your ass.
My love, open the door to your heart.
Very good. You
Sheryl
better
Crow,
cut.
ladies and gentlemen.
You
Sheryl
better-
Crow, live.
you better-
At a
You better
fair
cut-
near you soon.
You better cut that where I said that's enough for the podcast because that's fucking hilarious. And that's all I have to say about
Don't worry. Don't worry.
that.
All right, so hey Andy, get
Do an
back.
audio. We need to do it. This will just be audio, or
So-
it'll be video too. Video.
It's just audio, What we're gonna do, basically, I play the clip from the previous episode of Issues with Andy, the thing before the intro music starts. So it's just the teaser.
Here,
So
you-
it
I'm gonna put the headphones back on, Andy.
yeah, Andy, we're gonna cut a spot. Thank you, Jim.
Thanks,
Thank you.
James.
Okay.
We're gonna cut a spot, Andy. So
Okay.
what happens is there's a intro of our music just for like 2 seconds, and then it goes into the teaser clip that runs on the podcast that we do.
Okay.
So it's just that teaser clip, and then this I want to record right now what you would say to get people to listen to Issues with Andy. The problem is the old one didn't take into account that we're doing it twice a week.
Right.
And the Patreon and stuff like that. So Erickson, we're coming out of the clip, and you're appealing to Doug's listeners, and
Okay.
yeah. So Chad, you and I, we don't have to say anything. If we want to, we can do it. But it's just I just
say that all again. You play a clip from the previous episode of Issues with Andy, and
Yes.
it's like a 30-second clip or something like that.
whatever the intro, whatever Todd makes the intro from the week before.
Okay.
We
didn't. All right. Well, that's the thing, because this week I didn't do one, but instead what I did was I had to make it into its own separate 1-minute video with a thing at the end to but it's not on the actual episode. The episode just starts at the beginning.
If there's not one, I put one in. I put a funny.
Okay. Well, but what I'm saying is I'm going to start putting those out separately also, just on Twitter and shit like that. So they'll still be available, but they'll be in a different spot.
Hey, sorry about that.
Andy,
Hang on.
stop. Just
Okay.
stop. Pay attention.
Okay.
2 minutes. That's all it's gonna take.
Come on. One
Listen,
take.
Can't
One
think
take.
of
2 minutes. So come on, man.
One
Listen
take.
to
Let's do this.
I want to
all right.
really try and get more people.
Yeah.
subscribing,
Me
and
too.
This is one way that's free that gets us to 50,000 people a week. So I just want to just do this really quick, and I hate to ask you guys to do it, but let's do it.
All right.
All right, here we go. Oh my God, that was funny. Was that Issues with Andy? Is that what we actually sound like? That was hilarious. Issues with Andy. Oh, that's solid stuff. I feel like if you're out there, maybe you could. I don't know. I feel like I blew it right there. All right.
Let's start over.
Shaylee can edit this, right?
No, I don't want to edit it. I want you to do it straight. And you're right.
Well, you guys are all fucking staring at me like fucking retards.
Why should anybody
Is
listen to
else
anything?
just jump
You
in?
bunch of
Jump in and
cocksuckers.
say
This
anything?
is the
It's
commercial.
all a bunch of noise.
Hey,
Subscribe to Issues with Andy. This is the commercial.
Buy, consume.
Chad just did it.
$5 this way.
last
Why not
last
take $5 this way? Give us your money.